Welcome everybody to this week's micro training. We're continuing our discussion about spiritual gifts, and this week's spiritual gift is about the gift of obedience. In Matthew chapter 14, we read the invitation that would basically lead Peter to discover the Christ-like attribute of obedience. Now, in this particular situation, it was the fourth watch of the night, the darkest part of the night. And Peter was on a boat fighting against basically the fury of the waves with the rest of the disciples. And I'm sure that those words of it's the darkest part and fighting against and fury and other things like that, I think we've all had what I call fourth watch moments, right? And perhaps you have had those moments in your life. Dark moments when you find yourself asking, where is the Lord? So in the midst of the raging storm and the furious sea, Peter looked up and saw a figure approaching the ship. And straightway Jesus speaks, right? He speaks saying, "It is I, be not afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water." Jesus answered with a one-word invitation, which I love this one-word invitation because it's just something that Peter then has a choice to make. The Savior says, "Come." Now, I think we've all read this story many times, and we talk about the reality of faith that it took for Peter to step outside of the boat. And some may see courage in Peter's response and great faith to that one-word invitation. And some may see adventure, some may see, I don't know, think about what he chose to do. But the reality is I see obedience. And Preach My Gospel teaches this. Obedience is a source of strength. Elder Dale G. Renlund reminds us that obedience is our choice. It is a choice. Now, when the Lord extended an invitation, Peter responded with obedience. That response led to an extraordinary encounter, I think, with the Savior Jesus Christ. Something I think that will probably forever change Peter, right? In Matthew 14:29 we read, "And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on water to go to Jesus." Remarkable. Think about that for a moment. I know we all have, but he walked on water. Our Savior Jesus Christ held the keys of the priesthood that allowed him to walk on water, and he invites Peter to be obedient and therefore really receive of the blessings that come from those keys that the Savior holds, right? Jesus invited the apostles into this kind of life. The kind of life, well, where he says to you and I, and this is what the Savior says, he says, "Settle this in your hearts." That's what he said. "That ye will do the things which I shall teach and command you." All of us, if we're going to seek the gift of obedience and receive the blessings of the gift of obedience, kind of have to get settled in our hearts that we're going to do the things the Savior taught and that he's commanded us. So the reality is this with the gift of obedience. Accepting invitations from our Savior Jesus Christ requires actions. Deliberate action focused on him. And when the Lord extends an invitation to act, he will not lead us into a situation that will destroy us or ruin us. He will whisper words that instill confidence. He will, for lack of a better term, reach our reaching. And he will calm the wind, right? Calm the storm. He will reach down and lift us up in the darkest hours of our life if we'll be obedient. So the Christ-like attribute of obedience led Peter to accept an invitation to step onto the water. So my question to you is, what could you do with the Lord if you chose more obedience in your life? Okay, there you go. That's our discussion about the Christ-like gift of obedience, and I hope you'll think about it over the next little bit, over the next week, which is Christmas. So hope you have a great day. And thank you for all that you have done this year in Seminary Institutes. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.